We arrived in Avignon on a perfect sunny afternoon, entering the city the way it was meant to be seen, through the Porte Saint-Roch. Avignon is a medieval masterpiece wrapped in over 4 kilometers of ancient stone walls. With a population of about 90,000, it feels intimate yet grand. As you walk toward the center, you'll find the square near the Pont de France. Look at the architecture here. It's a blend of stern medieval strength and elegant 19th century refinement. Just a few steps away is the Place de l'Horloge. This is the city's living room. It's lined with cafes and a beautiful century-old carousel. But don't get too distracted by the coffee. The real treasures are just around the corner. You can't miss the Musée du Petit Palais. This used to be a cardinal's palace, and now it holds some of the most important Renaissance art in Europe. Behind the museum, along Rue de la Peyrolerie, is a complete in the vibe. Here, the buildings lean in, and the stone feels cooler. This street is actually carved into the rock of the cliff itself. From the 14th century, Avignon was the center of the Catholic world, and that papal energy still vibrates through the limestone buildings today. On our right is the Pope's Palace. This square is the Place du Palais, and it is arguably one of the most breathtaking urban spaces in all of Europe. When you stand there, you're surrounded by a sheer scale of history that feels almost overwhelming. As you stand in the square looking at the cathedral, you can see how the church was physically overshadowed by the Pope's palace. It is a literal representation of the Pope's power over the local bishop at the time. That massive lead statue of the Virgin Mary on the rooftop has been watching over Avignon since 1859. The square leads directly to the ramp of Saint Anne, the sloping path you walk to reach the Notre-Dame de Dames. Just behind the cathedral is the Roche des Dames garden. From the square, it looks like a simple cliffside, but it's actually a lush hilltop park that offers the best 360-degree views of the Rhône River and the Pont d'Avignon. The view from the Cathédrale Notre-Dame is widely considered the best in the city. The church itself is primarily Romanesque from the 12th century. It's actually older than the massive Pope's Palace next door. Inside, it houses the elaborate Gothic tombs of 2 popes. And the church sits on a massive limestone outcrop called the Roche des Dames. In Avignon, there is an unfinished masterpiece in the world, the Pont Saint-Perpétue, known globally as the Pont d'Avignon. If you look closely, it doesn't lead anywhere. It ends mid-river. A stone finger pointing toward a bank it can no longer reach. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the inspiration for that famous French nursery rhyme. The next morning, we took a short drive to Nîmes. If Avignon is medieval, Nîmes is ancient. Founded as a Roman colony, its geography sits perfectly between the mountains and the sea, making it a strategic crown jewel for centuries. We stopped right in the center for a walk. You'll notice the water everywhere. The Pradier fountain in the esplanade is the focal point. The Church of Sainte-Perpétue à Sainte-Félicité is one of the most striking visual landmarks in Nîmes. The church is named after two famous North African martyrs, Perpetua and Felicity. Inside, the vibe shifts from the bright, sunny limestone of the exterior to a cool, dimly lit sanctuary. The frescoes and stained glass are exceptionally vibrant for a 19th century church, often catching the light perfectly during those sunny afternoons you experienced. The church sits right at the edge of the esplanade Charles de Gaulle, meaning it watches over the Pradier fountain. Nearby is the Arena of Nîmes. It is one of the best preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world, standing as a testament to the engineering prowess of the 1st century AD. Built around 70 AD, shortly after the Colosseum in Rome, this arena was designed to showcase the power of the Roman Empire to the local population. It measures 133 meters long and 101 meters wide, with a facade consisting of 2 levels of 60 superimposed arches. Avignon and Nîmes are not just day trips. They are two different versions of France. One is a papal fortress, the other a Roman stronghold. Most people rush. They take the photo and leave. However, the magic happens when you stay for the sunset, when the crowds are gone, and realize that these stones have been here for 2,000 years. But don't just visit history. Instead, walk through it.